Hi, thank you so much for watching. Today I'm going to be doing my go-to highlight contour routine. I'm going to try and use as much drugstore product as possible just because I think that right now especially there's a lot of great products on the market at a lower price point to get the same look. I went in with a cream, highlight and contour, and then went back with powders, and then showed you how to finish the face with some highlight, blush, and a little bit of a shimmery bronzer. So if you want to see how I got this look and how I currently am highlighting and contouring, then please keep on watching. Okay, starting out, I'm going to be using the Maybelline bronzer BB cream. I think it leaves a really nice natural contour. So I'm just using this e.l.f. Concealer brush. I just think it makes the perfect little tool for something natural. I'm just going to start it right above my ear. And you can see that's only a couple shades lighter than my skin tone. And then I just blend up. Something that's really going to help out too is using a very lightweight, even water-based foundation before trying to do contour, because you don't want to have so much heavy product on your face, especially if you want it to last a long time. You still want it to be comfortable. You can see that just leaves like a really nice natural contour. We're still going to go back over that, but I think this makes me think of me priming my contour, I guess. It's just going to help it stay just that little extra bit longer. So again, just above my ear and coming down. And then right under my lip. I don't really like going in with liquid contour on my nose because I feel like product doesn't stay on my nose very well. So I like using powder to do anything there. But I do like a little bit just on the hairline. Bit affordable. I'm using the Wet n Wild contour palette today. You can see that I really like this setting part. I'm just going to take, let's see, this is a Wet n Wild, I think this is the blush brush, or it could be a contour brush, I'm not sure, they don't have the names on them. I'm just going to tap in that powder, knock off the excess, and then I squeeze to make it just a little bit thinner. Then go right over that powder. Or, I'm sorry, that liquid. And I'm gonna take just a little bit. If you want to conceal any kind of, like I have a little bit of a double chin right here. To conceal that, you don't want to go under because that's just going to pull out your jaw. If you're a little bit thinner in the face, then that's fine, you can go underneath. But for me, I want to slim down my face, so I'm going to put the powder on top. What that does is it's just going to help me sink that area in just a little bit more. So you can see, looking at this side and then looking at this side, there's just a lot more definition there. And you can actually just, depending on your face shape, you can curve that a little bit around the cheek. I like going in with a really, really small detailed brush, and then I'll go back in with a larger blending brush. So for my nose in particular, I have a pretty wide nose, and that stands out a lot in pictures, I think. I don't want it to take over my whole face, especially if I have everything done. So the closer you put the contour together, the thinner your nose is gonna look. So I like to start right above the nostril. And I don't go all the way back, like I leave that gap there. So then after I get that color deposited and I look crazy, I'm going to go back in with that contour brush and just blend it out. And I always go at the very tip too. And then now you can see like where my actual nose is coming out. Like it looks weird. It looks like I have this little tiny nose and then a bunch of extra skin. So a lot of people I see will put a light color right here. I don't like doing that because I think it just looks strange on me. Like I think, again, it just looks like my face is coming out right there. So I go in with a little bit of powder just around the nostril. Or above the nostril, not on the nostril, because we're going to lighten that part. And then I'm going to go back in again with my sponge with a little bit of that foundation on it. And you're just going to keep doing this until you get the desired effect. So you can see that really blended everything out. So I'm just going to go back in again with a little bit more color. And then bring it down. Okay, now we're going to go in with our concealer. And you can really use any lighter concealer that you want to. We're not using it to cover the under eyes really, because I already did that with my foundation before. We just want to really brighten certain areas. So my preference is the Maybelline Dream Lumi, but I actually ran out of this. I just used my last little bit. But MAC also has a radiant concealer, the Prep and Prime line, that works amazing. I just think this is a dupe. It's a lot cheaper. You could also use the Maybelline Age Rewind in the, this is the fair color. I believe they also have a radiance color. Today I'm going to be using the e.l.f. HD concealer, and this color is fair. You just want to go places where you want to highlight. So I'm going to go under my eye. Down the nose. On the forehead. My chin. And then right under that contour. I'm going to very, very lightly. And then above the lip. And then you just want to blend all of that out. Sponge is not too damp at this point. I'm all about a damp blending sponge, but that's more so for foundation. When I'm using concealer to help do the clean up my contour and things like that, or just highlight, I don't want it to pick up too much of that product, because then it's going to start picking up some of the contour and things that we just laid down, and I don't want to do that. So it's definitely damp, but it's just not as damp as I usually have it for foundation. You can use the Wet n Wild powder. I really like this one. Or you can use a translucent powder, which I'm going to use a translucent powder today. This is my favorite one. They don't make it anymore. That's why I don't like showing it. It's the Victoria's Secret Flawless Fix. And it's just always been my favorite, and I've been hoarding this ever since they stopped making it. But there's a lot of translucent powders on the market, so just any loose powder without a color. And then you just dip your sponge into it and go underneath. You're going to want to cover up all those places we just put the concealer. And again, you don't want your sponge to be too damp for this either. It's just lightly dampened. Take my brush and go back over it, make sure I pick up any extra. Okay, now that I finished laying the contour and highlight, I want to go back in with my bronzing powder and my highlighting powder. So today I'm going to be using the Betty Luminizer, which has a nice shimmer to it for my bronzing. The important part is to knock off all that excess, because we don't want to ruin the contour we just did. We just want to add a little bit more color to our face, make it seem a little bit more natural, like where the sun actually hits us. And then I'm going to go in with my MAC blush in Dame, which is a really nice soft pink. It looks kind of purple in this light, but it's a really nice soft baby pink. I'm just putting that on the apples and going up a little bit. And again, I always touch it on my nose, because if I were to get some kind of color like that, it would go on my nose. And then I'm going to go in with the Becca highlight powder in Opal. I'm taking it on a fan brush and hitting off the excess again. I'm going pretty hard with this highlight, but if I'm doing a contour and highlight routine like this, usually it's because I'm going out at night. So I like to really go all out. Just went in and finished up my eyes and my lips and just set everything really quickly. But I think that it came out exactly the way I wanted. Again, it's a lot of makeup, so this is something I would wear for a special event or for nighttime, but if you want to do it every day, go right ahead. I personally am more of a 5-minute out the door kind of person throughout the week, but on the weekend and like I said, special occasions, I do like to really go all out with contour and highlight and that full-on glam makeup. So again, just remember, if it's starting to look a little too harsh or even a little too muddy, just go in with your sponge with a little bit of that foundation still on there, and it'll really help correct any kind of mistakes that you have. And I really do suggest going in with a cream product first before going in with a powder, just to really guarantee the longevity of your makeup, especially since you're putting so much time and effort into it. You want it to last for the entire event or whatever the reason you're doing it is. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any suggestions or tips or tricks that maybe I missed out on, please leave them down below. And thanks so much for watching.